Sparky Anderson, a district manager representing a faction of the Zenith Corporation, would invariably find the Untouchables when the band was on the road, especially during their peregrinations in southwest Oklahoma and Texas. Gary and Glenn, resigning themselves that Sparky was just another salesman, purporting ostentatious conversation when indulging in liquid beverages dispensed by a bartender. Most of Sparky's dissertations were taken lightly, but when he conveyed he was the proprietor of the HiLo Club in Oklahoma City, the two musicians' interest abruptly peaked. A further inquiry, discovering that Sparky indeed did own the prestigious HiLo Club established on the Classen Circle in Oklahoma City, but also enlightened that the club's management and operational perspective was the responsibility of his daughter Wanda and son-in-law, Herb Carpenter. The HiLo Club was a very efficacious nightclub, augmented to a professional and upper-middle-class business clientele. The club's current entertainment was afforded by the Preacher Smith Trio, a well-established Negro group assembled behind a piano bar. Gary and Glenn introducing themselves to Herb, discovering Preacher Smith firmly embedded with a Monday through Saturday booking. The two soliciting an opportunity to play on a Sunday night, Herb showing no interest on adding another night of entertainment. Gary placing a call to Sparky asking if he might say something to his son-in-law about the Untouchables playing a Sunday night, a reluctant Herbie conceding. The Untouchable debut with Sparky present was well received, their four-musician 9-instrument accord giving a new sound to the HiLo Club. Gary could see a dispersion between Sparky and Herb surfacing about their Sunday night appearance, the band seemingly caught in the middle. Gary sensing from their first introduction, Herbie and Glenn were not congenial, and it was obvious it was going to have an effect on any further employment negotiations. The second Sunday night found the band playing to capacity, Sparky's admonition having prevailed, advocating they be hired 6 nights per week. Herbie reluctantly agreeing, but making one point clear, he was the boss not Sparky, and there would be no recourse. The 40-year-old Thomas Preacher Smith having attended Paul Quinn College in Waco, studying divinity and music, thus the name Preacher, was given a week's notice, the Untouchable starting full-time. The HiLo's piano bar availing Gary an innovating idea, instead of moving the piano from behind the bar, he would place the Wurlitzer 120 on the low-topped console, having 2 keyboards, enabling him to continue providing keyboard bass and paint-a-can as of authority on the regular piano with his right hand. He took the setup a step further, utilizing a wah-wah pedal to the upper keyboard octaves of the Wurlitzer, endowing special effects. He was now at the controls of the keyboard bass, special effect from the Wurlitzer, and the normalcy of the piano, plus able to step aside and play vibes with either Jerry or Larry adding electric bass. The pianist having found a new satisfying means of expression, with it came an inner feeling that this new musical endeavor could flourish. Bill Hurst is inimitable in every respect. His employment and environment were scripted out of a movie. Bill's physical appearance, reminiscent of Oliver Hardy from the Laurel and Hardy movie fame, wearing a black suit, sporting the characteristic mustache and emulating mannerisms, he could pass for Ollie. His employment domain was the Ace Pawn Shop, located downtown Oklahoma City between Sheridan and Main Street on North Broadway, a prime location, just north of the city area referenced to as Skid Row. Gary and Glenn, having made his acquaintance when frequenting the downtown pawn shops in search of microphones and other audio paraphernalia. Bill's knowledge of the brokerage business was adherent. His awareness of the coding system employed by the several downtown pawnbrokers enabled Gary and Glenn to discern a store marketer's margin and to barter. Bill acknowledged another talent, an ability to project the musical talents of Ray Stevens, Nervous Norvis, giving life to a vocal rendition of Ahab the A-Rap, the Monster Mash, and Transfusion. His character carriage and vocals making him an immediate celebrate. The newfound asylum of the HiLo Club enabled the group to flourish, emulating a variety of sounds, from jazz to country, but as the time passed a professional quietude began to prevail. Gary finding the ensuing months of performing 6 nights per week deserving a recess, the Untouchables all in agreement as well as club management. Gary's wife Kay scheduling some vacation time from her FAA employment, the family deciding on a brief road trip to California.